Oh, there's an ad. Here we go. I think you're up. All right. I think we're live.
All right, let's go.
Let's do it. Well, Anderson works on his camera getting up. The beginning is super important. So today we got an amazing conversation going on. We are joined here. My name is John from Jumpers Junction. We're joined here by Anderson hosting this. Anderson's working on getting his computer set up. I'm going to go ahead and start talking while he gets it set up. Anderson, I want to say thank you very much for letting myself join on here. And we have an awesome guest today. We've got one of the best long jumpers in the world right now, Will Williams. Will, thank you very much for joining us today.
Oh, no problem. My pleasure. My pleasure.
We got a pretty cool setup going today. First, we're going to make it centered around you to start off. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. We did have a chance to talk yesterday, and we started asking you some stuff, and we started chatting, and I was like, man, stop. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me more, because I want to have real reactions to you talking. So we hadn't had a chance to talk too much, which is good, because I want real reactions. But we've got some great conversations. There we go. Hey, Anderson, you got it set up. Oh, there's a delay. Okay.
Oh.
I see there's a delay on the YouTube. There's a big delay.
All right. ATK, how you doing?
Can you hear us on the on your regular phone? I don't think he can. I think he's got a delay between you and I. There's a disconnect. You go figure this out. Because I can't hear him. This is what
out. Can you hear me crunching?
Huh?
Can you hear me crunching?
Nah. This is how. I can't hear him. Can you hear this now? Here he is. Look, he's live, but there's a delay.
All right, get this on camera with the left hand.
See, just now said you hear me crunching.
Huh?
I can't hear him. Can you hear this now? Here he is. Like, he's live, but there's a delay. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna let Anderson kind of figure some stuff out on the back end. See, just now said you hear me crunching.
I said that 3 hours ago.
Yeah. I'm gonna let him kind of figure stuff out in the back end. But I'm gonna go ahead and start asking some questions, and hopefully we can figure this out. If not, this will be a one-sided conversation. So we're gonna start talking. Anderson, if you can join with your other one on your computer with the ATK, if you join there, you'll be able to hear us live.
Right? Oh, that's him?
Yeah, ATK is him, I think.
I was saying what's up to him earlier.
Telling him to join with ATK. Okay, while he does that, get started. See, there's always a little bit of a setup. If you're still watching this and you just started earlier and you're like, "Hey, are they ever going to get started?" We're going to go ahead and get started now. So we did this before at the beginning of outdoor season, where we kind of got started in doing some predictions, some previews for the season, and Anderson and I were really excited because the indoor season went off, right? I mean, that was a big season, and you were a part of that too. So first, the first thing I want to talk about is just indoor season, right? Kind of recapping because that kind of was what set off this with everybody jumping big. We had the whole Tentagaloo shoe controversy. You know, you had all kinds of stuff going on. So, you know, what did you think about the indoor season, and how is that kind of transitioning into outdoor? Because we'll start with the indoor season, right?
I think the indoor season was a phenomenal start for the horizontal jumps, men and women. Everyone pretty much showed out, and I would like to say I played a big part in that, and setting the bar, putting some names out there on my Instagram, and making people, hold people accountable and getting things done in the horizontal world. Of course, Tagalo, he's going to always do his thing. Denny's back in action. Moving towards outdoor, you have Jerry coming back in action. Then you have a lot of these collegiate athletes are really showing up. So I think this USA's Charles, it's probably gonna be one of the most competitive in history. So.
Man, I'm excited. Speaking of USA's USA Indoor, man, clutch.
Yeah, it was.
Man, what was that? What was that like? What was that experience like?
For me, the whole indoor season was about making a statement. Because I feel like I've always been the greatest underdog. Even in college, I've always been the greatest underdog. I'm always in a mix. I'm always going to give a good. I'm always going to put up a good competition. I'm very competitive. So for me, in terms of this year, starting with indoors, it's about setting the bar. And, letting people know that I'm here. So I don't really want to leave things up to chance. So if I can beat the field by 30 to 50 centimeters, that's the plan. Like, that's what I'm going out there to do.
And dude, that's awesome. But the mindset, right? It's the athlete mindset, the competitive mindset where it's like you get in a trance, right?
Yeah.
I think it actually is like a form of hypnotism when you're actually out there and you go into that zone where you kind of shut everything out. You turn it, it's like your tunnel vision, and all of a sudden you just get hyper focused, right?
Yeah.
And as someone who's jumping at the caliber that you're jumping, it's probably even more extreme than what you'd see with everybody else, like the normal athlete. With someone at your level, you've trained a certain way, I'm assuming, to be able to literally shut out everything. Am I right on that?
Yeah. I think for more how you exaggerate how extreme it is, it's even more extreme for me because I don't want the coaches or the training partners getting me up at 6:37 in the morning every day. I treat my life as if I'm being watched, as if I'm in a movie, because I'm going out there by myself at 6:30, 7:30 every day. Like, I get out the car to music. I'm running around the track. I'm doing my warm-up lap to music. I'm telling myself I'm the world champ. I'm the greatest, all this. So every day, whether I'm taking the first rep or the last rep, I'm training to be the best in the world. So it's like that competitive nature. And then, like, once I get to the actual runway where I actually have 8 to 12 competitors on the side of me, it's like it's really not like I'm competing against.
Test.
Feet, exactly.
No, 27 feet. If you take your feet and then actually like put one over the other, for those who are watching this, count out 27 feet. See how far that actually is and how far he is, which is awesome. And so but that's not your 8.23 isn't your first jump. You jumped further than that, right?
825, 2 centimeters.
But that's not counting. Why isn't that counting?
The win.
Okay, so I ask you that because I have a question. How much do you think win really helps? What are your thoughts on this? I have my own personal thoughts on win.
I say it varies. It can be beneficial or detrimental depending on the person. Some people can run well or jump well. With the win, I know Carl Lewis, the White Phillips, they'll still jump 850 plus with into a headwind or a tailwind. It doesn't matter. I think more so they place too many narratives about the win. But yeah, to a certain extent, it helps in It doesn't. Depends. It depends on the person.
I think you've actually put her exactly what I was going to say. Actually, it depends on the psychological effect of if you think the wind's going to come at you, you push a little bit harder, or if you think you have a tailwind, you think you don't push a little bit harder because you're worried on overstepping, and in reality, you end up not running quite as fast, and then you understep, right?
And that's another thing I wanted to touch on. I've been in competitions where they have been very windy. I've been with around several jumpers, and they have this heavy headwind, and then they have a tailwind, and it always screws them up, and they don't know how to adapt. And the thing that makes me more, I guess I would say I have more of an edge because they get to these meets and they don't know how to make the necessary adjustments. And that's the one thing I do best at, whether I have a coach in the stands or I know how to make the best adjustments to get myself on the board, which is why you'll see me in a competition. I have probably five out of six or 6 out of 6 fair jumps because I know how to make the adjustments in terms of where I'd have a tailwind or a headwind. Like I'm very in tune with the runway, and a lot of jumpers, they get this headwind and tailwind, they freak out.
How much do you think that you becoming a coach influences now your jumping versus when you were younger? Because you've been coaching, right?
Yeah.
For the past couple of years?
Yeah.
So how much do you think like being a coach and now like trying to pass that knowledge along like to the next group has like kind of ingrained it in your mind, and that puts you kind of at a next level versus those who have just been on the athlete side and the receiving side and having an opportunity to like put that?
So I've kind of always been a coach before I knew I was going to be a coach. Like, even when I was at Texas A&M, I would get in trouble for actually helping other athletes, you know. So I've always done it, but as far as now, like 3 years in, having some success on this coaching the jumps, it's like now I'm just so much more aware. Mm-hmm. Like I'm so aware on that runway, athlete on that runway, which is why I can go to beats and not rely on the coach to be there or anyone to watch me, because I'm more aware and I'm more in tune, like I said. So yeah, I think the coaching aspect, it definitely made me an athlete.
Being a coach, man, where I agree with that sentiment perfectly, because when I transitioned into being a coach, and then I'm a little bit older, but I'm like getting out there, and I'm still out there trying to jump. And then like when I have that coach mindset on, though, like it does, man, it puts that influence of all the things that I'm like yelling from the side, like the coaching cues.
Yeah.
Like, all right, push out, lift, drive out, low heel recovery. I'm like now thinking as I'm driving out, I'm like, okay, low heel recovery, torso down. As I come up, getting my transition fit, like, you go through those things subconsciously then all of a sudden. Anderson, I see your like light flashing right there. Are you able to talk on here yet?
Yeah, I think y'all could probably hear me, right?
Yeah.
I'm here, just getting the camera set up.
Oh, right. Okay, good deal. Man, all right. Well, that's awesome. All right. So we're going to have the host of this live join us. It's not going to be us 2 guest stars going through here. But speaking of jumping, you're moving on, huh? Or not speaking of jumping, but speaking of coaching, you're moving on.
Yes, that's the plan. Yes.
Yeah. What's your next steps? What's your motivation or moving on? What's coming up for you?
So for the past 3 years of coaching, well, before that as well, during my track career, I've always felt the need to help those that are around me. So it's like no matter whether you're my training partner or a friend in the same field, I always try to put other success before mine. So it's like I have the mindset, it's like if I'm up here and I'm doing this well, I want everyone else around me to be here as well or better. So it's like in terms of coaching, I love coaching. I'm very passionate about it. I love helping others reach their full potential. So it's like last year I made the World Championship team, won a knockout gold medal, and it's like I've done so much last year, balancing everything I did in terms of coaching and relationships and things like that. So it's like going into this year, I had the mindset of like, okay, if if I done that well, balancing all that I was doing the traveling, the coaching, all this, how well would I do if I just picked up and went to a training group and just focused completely on track?
Yeah.
So me and the head coach that I'm working with now, we kind of came into a mutual agreement. Like, yeah, like I should really focus on Olympic year in these upcoming years. So I'm planning to pick up and go down to Atlanta with my coach, Dwight Phillips, and be in the training group with him. And then next year we're gonna look to do bigger and better things. So.
Man, that's awesome. I'm super pumped for you. Really taking time to really now put it all on yourself. You've spent time kind of passing along the information that you've been learning, and now you have time to focus on yourself. You've got your own coach. You've learned how to coach, and now you can coach yourself. So the way I say it is you have now a coach, and now you are your own assistant coach. So I'm super pumped for you, man. I'm excited for you to now take the next step because, hey, Harris, 2024.
Yeah.
World champion.
Big year. Gonna be a big year.
So does that mean you're not going to be dunking as much?
Nah, dunking is always that's always been a big part of me. And then one thing I like about what I love about working with Dwight is he understands that like you can't take away my dunking background because that kind of what got me into track.
Yeah.
And I don't really dunk as often as I was like because the gym that I go to where I'm at, they took away the basketball court. So it's like I haven't touched the basketball since the Drake Relay dunk contest, which is in January. And it's kind of like one of those things where around this time I be jonesing to touch a basketball just to shoot around and do a couple of dunks. But now I'm gonna still be dunking every now and then.
How much do you think this will be great for anyone who's tuning in? Is one of those like dual sport athletes through either football or basketball, and now is stepped in as either track as their number 2 sport or is transitioning as track as their number 1. Right. Basketball and football are very explosive, and then track a lot of time is more seen as more elastic. You're speed based. It's jumping off one leg.
Yeah.
But you're still like I remember when I started getting really good at long jump, I got worse at dunking, which is weird because in grad school I stopped running. But I was playing basketball 3-4 times a week, and I remember I was getting my eyes over the net, right? And then now I'm back into jumping, and I'm like, dude, I can barely dunk. Like, I haven't been able to do what you've been doing. So how have you been able to keep your ability to translate that 2-footed jumping and the 1-footed jumping? What's your secret? Tell us your secret.
I don't know if this is something that I learned and adapted to or something that I'm just gifted with, but my ability to process knowledge from sport to sport or, from sport to life is unique, so I can process like them to how I move on a basketball court, how I shift my waist or shift my hips or how I take one step and drive to the basket or going off correlate from sport to sport. And just process my movements very well.
Yeah, and being able to translate because it's a different movement, right? When you go into dunk, your body position is much different than how you go in. That loading, it's a longer stretch shortening cycle where you bend down more, your body position's back versus jumping is just pure elastic leg stiffness.
Yeah.
So for you to be able to do both, it really does put you at kind of that elite level. I mean, Mike Powell was an elite dunker, wasn't he?
Yeah, Mike Powell. What is the other one? Mike Conley.
Mike Conley was a good jumper too.
Yeah.
There we go. There he is. You're vertical, but that's all right. Let me see if I can turn you. There you go. We officially have our third party here.
All right. I think we should be good, right?
We're good. We're good. Well, cool, man. Well, I've been starting it, getting it going. We've been talking with Will, just kind of going through some of the highlights about him. We do have a few other things in the topic today, and so you got a background coming from your second one. Let me mute this.
All right. Should.
All right. I muted that one, so we should be good. Anderson, can you still hear us?
Yeah. Or switch it around.
Okay. So you should be able to hear me now, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
All right. We got a full party. So we're doing this for those who are watching. We're doing this right now on the new Jumpers Junction Discord community, because the track and field community is unlike some of the other bigger sports, right? Football, basketball. You have team sports, and then track and field. Yeah, your team, but you're individual. But yet every time you go to a meet, right, with football, you play a different team each week. With basketball, you play a different team each week. But then when track and field, yeah, you might be going to different meets, but you're going to see a lot of the same people, like especially if you're a jumper, right? You go to the high jump pit or mat, right? You're going to see the same people kind of over and over again. And there's time in between each time you run. So you're just kind of hanging out with your friends, even though your competitors are your friends, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, man, we need a community because we're working on it. There's kind of some stuff going on, but Anderson's got kind of this movement going with the final leg and bringing a lot of the NCAA storylines to life, especially like when you go out to some of these meets and you interview people. And so I was thinking about how a way we can now get some of that kind of on the back end where we can kind of all sit around and you meet someone at a meet and y'all can come back and not have a weird social media where you've got people who aren't necessarily associated with track and field commenting and it can kind of get a little weird. You don't know how to act. So it's like now we got like a Jumpers Junction spot, right? Who knows what this will evolve to, but it's a start somewhere. But we're doing it on Discord, so that's why we've been having some issues because Discord is not as easy as we thought it would be to live stream to YouTube. Oh, nice. There's a Discord. Yeah, there's a Discord. I'll put a link in the chat, and y'all can see us on there. But we got some other topics to go through. So Anderson, I'll let you take it away. I'll shut up.
No, yeah. Let's we could jump into a couple things. So I think the big thing right now over the past couple weeks is Tara Davis versus Quenisha Burke's situation. I mean, this has been the talk. Obviously, it started with Fred Curley versus Jacobs, and then it moved over to the jumps. This is getting hot, right? Like this is getting real hot, and I love seeing it specifically in the jumps, right? Because this gives the jumps don't get as much recognition, so seeing kind of the head to heads. I'm curious, what do y'all think? I mean, Will, you said you know Q, right?
Yeah.
What's your thought? What's your thoughts on the head to head?
I like the idea of a head to head, but I don't necessarily like how the promotion of it been kind of one sided. Like everybody talking like they don't understand or know who Q is. And then it's turned into more so a popularity contest. And then you got guys like Ray's Take, who's just messy with everything, whatever. Everybody is just like I said, it's like a popularity contest because of course Tara, she's had a fan base since she was like 15. But they're two great athletes, two good competitors. But Q has a stacked resume as well. Tara's a good jumper, so it'll be something to see.
Man, I think it's great for the sport. All right.
Yeah.
I want to start by saying this: like both athletes are literally some of the best athletes in the world right now. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Last time we had the greatest long jumper of all time. Now, I'm not comparing either one of them to Carl Lewis or Mike Powell, but I am saying about the rivalry because we started saying, okay, well, one of them's jumped further, but one of them has a 10-year undefeated record.
And that's exactly what it is.
Is this kind of what this is between the Tara and Q thing?
In my opinion, yes. It's like you know Mike Powell has the world record, but you know who's the better long jumper. Like who has the resume to back up, the statistics wise, who make the teams who win the medals. So that's kind of the comparison I see with Tara and Q right now. Yes, Tara has for the PB, but you know, Q has a good resume for the past 5 to 8 years. She has a good resume.
It's an interesting conversation, but I think it's amazing for the sport because it does put out exactly, Anderson, like what you said. Like, it brings attention to the jumps, right? It could kind of hide it as something maybe to watch and pay attention to. Like would they ever move any like events around to make it like highlighted or something? Would they make a commercial about it or showcase it? Who knows, right? I think there's something back in the 80s that they did that, but
I mean, it kind of looked like I'm not sure if they moved it, but I know the women's long jump was, I believe the first day of U.S. trials, and now it's moved to this last day. I don't know if that's because of that little camaraderie or whatnot, but
okay. So you're saying someone's paying attention?
They got to.
They have to.
Someone's paying attention.
This is good. I mean, if anything, like obviously, like you said, right? Tara is like quote unquote the name, right? She has the big jumps or whatever, but like Q has been super consistent. And if anything, this is going to bring more spotlight to her to show like, oh, she's been killing it the past couple years, right? Like she's been no joke. So I think this overall is good. And it's not like, sure, Tara has a better personal best and whatever, but Q is no slouch, right? Like she's almost at 7 meters. I think she jumped already 696 this year or something like that, right? So she's no slouch. She's really no slouch.
Yeah. And for those who are tuning in and don't know who we're talking about, we're talking about Quenisha Burks and Tara Davis. So, or Tara Davis Woodhull. So those are the two people we're talking about, because I know we just go to first name basis or just saying Q. But for those who are tuning in, that's who we're referring to. And on social media, or actually it goes back to a competition where one of them jumped 695 or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was not wind aided. So then on social media, I don't know how it started, but basically there's been a little bit of back and forth. I think it's good for the sport. The thing I always think about, though, is this, right? Sometimes things can be artificial just to kind of promote stuff, right?
Yeah.
I don't think that this is the case, but if it is, dude, I'm all for it, which is weird to say, but I'm all for kind of like, even if it is something to kind of hype up the thing. Now, there's a certain limit to that, I guess, but I don't think the Jacobs back and forth, I think that's got some little heat to it, I think, too.
Did you see they got the race Jacob, Fred, and Bromell. So it's gonna be a good little race.
Yeah, man, I'm glad they got that set up. Like that's gonna be a good race. Yeah. But I mean, I'm sure that costs like a lot of money, probably. But
I know them appearance fees gotta be nice.
Man, but that's what I want to see in the jumps, right? Like low key, I want to see like, I don't know, you will versus Dendy, right? Something like that would be crazy. Like, you know, hype up all of that, right? Something like that. And bring that to a Diamond League. Bring that to one of these continental tour meets, right?
I want everybody. I don't want just Dendy. I want everybody.
I'm excited to see Jared come back.
Yeah, Jarian is one of my favorite jumpers, if not my favorite jumper in the past few years.
Man,
like, if it's one jumper who I feel like can jump at 870 at any given day, is Jarian. Once he get back to where he was, Jarian's going to be the toughest competitor.
I saw a social media of him doing a 3-step, and he looks good. Yeah. I was like, dude, this guy. We got. If I keep looking off, we got all these talking points, and so who knows where we'll end up. We're just going to kind of evolve as we go.
I mean,
by the way, if anybody's ask questions.
Wait, say it again.
Well, this is going to be delayed, but if anybody's on, feel free to ask questions.
Oh yeah, feel free to ask. I was going to say, I mean, we were just talking about the U.S. jumps. I mean, that's like super competitive, right? Will, Dendy, Javon, right? Jarian, even Stephen McCarter. Like
Yep.
that men's long jump is crazy right now. It's crazy right now.
Yeah, it's on fire right now. I'm loving it, but once we get the trials, everybody's gonna have to settle for second or third. I'm not gonna lie to you. They got to settle for second or third.
Love the confidence. What are your takes on the college scene?
Oh, I'm cool with a lot of them. Like I love guys like Jeremiah Davis, Kerry McGlynn, Wayne. Like we're all cool guys. And the thing with the guys in the long jump, we all know where we stand. Like we all hungry. Everybody's competitive. So we can talk shit and then we can still be cool to like, outside of track. So outside like after out by the time we get off the long jump runway, we probably plan to go out together. So we're all cool at the end of the day.
That's awesome. We were talking, Anderson and I were talking about basically seeing one of the greatest NCAA competitions with what happened at indoors.
Yeah.
I mean, that was incredible. Seeing not only the caliber of the jumps, but how it kind of, and so we didn't talk about, but if you look at the athletes, you've got Jeremiah Davis with a beautiful hang technique. Then you've got a hitch kick. You've got a double hitch kick. You've got a hitch hang. You've got everybody with a different skill set all out there jumping the same distances.
Yeah,
which is really cool. Because so often you see either you don't see that much variability happening, which is, dude, it's kind of reminiscing of like the 1988 when you had Emian with his hang, and then you had the hitch kicks and the double hitch kicks coming out from a lot of the U.S. jumpers. I'm pumped, man. And it shows also a lot of like younger athletes who are out there and who have already developed maybe a certain, they're doing the sail technique, right? And doing a hang technique, and they usually see these double hitch kicks and like, well, I have to switch to that. And maybe that's not what they're ready to do at that point.
Yeah.
So starting to all of a sudden jump into doing a double hitch kick when, you're not at that level. Either you're not jumping far enough, or you haven't put those skill sets together on how to get the motion, mind to motion processing. Just know, like, look, Jeremiah Davis is out there rocking 8, who knows what, with his hang technique, right? So it shows like there's a lot of versatility, and you don't have to pigeonhole yourself that you have to do a double hitch kick because that's what Carl Lewis did, right?
Yeah.
Which is to me, it's awesome because I can't do a double hitch kick anymore because of my back. So I'm stuck with doing a hitch kick. So about some of the NCAA athletes kind of coming into the World Championships, because a lot of them aren't U.S.
Oh yeah, a lot of them hot. And I talked to a few of them about their periodization to try to get them to understand, like, you have conference and you have your regionals and you have your outdoor nationals, whatever. But at the same time, certain athletes that I've spoken to, y'all got to start planning for trials as well. Like I know these coaches' job, their main, they want y'all to peak at nationals, but you specifically, you need to look towards USA trials and planning for world champs because you have that potential. And that's the thing with me. Like I don't care how well I'm doing. Once I see that I don't care if you're gonna be better than me, you're gonna be better than me. Probably not, because I'm training that much harder, but I'm still gonna give you the knowledge or the pointers of what I feel is best for you. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. If you got it, you got it. Like I'm gonna do everything I can to help you get to that point. So I try to talk to a lot about their periodization and make sure they're on track for the biggest goal. Do
you think that's pretty universal of what you see when you get out to a meet is that you have a younger athlete, like for instance, Hibbert, right? The Jamaican athlete from Arkansas, who's and that making sure he can recover or making sure that he keeps his body in the right shape and recovering appropriate so that he doesn't kind of got this raw talent but then get injured or because you're young, you're just jumping these crazy distances, but there's a lot more to it to have longevity, right?
Yeah.
So do you think it's kind of universal of a lot of the more experienced athletes to just get out there, and even though they're there competing for themselves, helping out some of the younger athletes?
So I know some people that are very stingy with their knowledge and their mindset. They don't like to help others, but I do know a few, like Danny's one of those guys who don't mind helping. Few guys who don't mind, but I know a few guys whose names I wouldn't mention that just be like, no, what the fuck I'm gonna tell you something for? Like, no.
Yeah,
So
they don't want to
it's
get
like,
attention.
yeah, like and I don't really like people like that. So,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
Man, it's interesting dynamics. There's always an inside scoop, but I remember from when I was jumping, once I hit a certain age, it was almost like I was kind of a little different than you. Is like I got to the point where I would see other people jumping and I would just go into coach mode. But maybe it's because by that stage everybody was already jumping so much further than me. So it's like those who can't do coach or something like that. I don't know.
No, what's crazy is I'll be at meets with my kids, or I'll be at meets competing myself, and then I see jumpers on the runway, or I'll see someone sprint, and I just like, come here, you need to do so and so. It's like, I just can't help it. Like the coach in me is like, okay, your coach, they got you doing the wrong. It's like I can't help it, and I don't try to overstep, but I just be like, just give them a little something.
Unsolicited advice, yeah.
That's dope though. I mean, you fix that form, they'll remember it forever. They'll remember it forever.
That's a good point. They're like, hey, look.
But it is true though. Like I'm thinking of all these. You have all these guys. I wonder if they'll take. They'll start to get so good so quick. Won't really start to make sure they're honing in on their craft. They're making sure that they're actually like getting better and progressing as best as they can. Because like you said, like all these NCAA guys, they're
or understanding why they're doing movements versus just going out and saying, "Hey, coach told me to do this, so I'm gonna go do it." And they do it great. But can you have that longevity? It comes down to, can you actually understand what you're doing?
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing I try to teach the athletes that I work with. Like, you have to learn how to process knowledge as an athlete. I understand me telling you like, hey, focus on pulling the heel through or whatever. I need you to process that and actually know what I'm telling you to do, rather than you just going and doing it. Like, you can ask questions. Like, I'm perfectly fine with you asking questions. I prefer you ask questions. There's no wrong questions. So I prefer you ask questions than me to just tell you to go do this and you're gonna do it.
That's a good point. Hey, someone in the chat has a question for you. He says, Will said earlier that he was coached by Dwight Phillips now. Does he train with Lorraine Ugan?
Lorraine Ugan?
Yeah.
I'm not physically based in Atlanta now, at this moment, but when I go there, she's there every now and then. I don't know too much of her current situation, but yeah, I think she still works with him.
Okay. That was from the chat. So, hey JT, I got you, bro. All right.
Wait, curious on that though. How does that work? If you're coached by Dwight Phillips and he like his group based in Atlanta, but then do you do like a lot of self coaching as well? I might have missed this earlier.
Yes, I have. Unfortunately, I have to do a lot of self coaching because it's virtual and be very busy. But he helps out as much as he can in terms of like critiquing videos that I send him. But it'll be much better once I get out there. But I don't mind it. Like he trusts me and then I trust him. So I'm not one of them athletes that that you need to check on every 30, 40 minutes. Like, I'm very independent when it comes to my training.
That's low-key crazy. The fact that you're impersonal, that's already, and you're not even like locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So the craziest thing about, I only told the people that was closest to me about April. I couldn't train much throughout April because I had an issue to where I couldn't train up to par throughout that month. So it was like I had to taper through April. And then I was just going to the meets because I had to go to the meets just to, get the reps in. So, people were saying like, do you think you're jumping too far too soon? It's like, no, because you look at me taking 6-12 jumps throughout the month of April. Those are the only jumps that I took throughout the whole month of April. Like I haven't took no practice reps. So those jumps, the 6 jumps I took at Miramar and the 6 jumps I took at Mount Sac, and then the 3 jumps I took at Drake are the only jumps I took throughout the month of April. So those were kind of like training reps for me, and I wasn't really sprinting throughout April. So it's like that's the crazy thing. So now we're kicking things back into gear because I can train how I want to now. So then I'll go to Bermuda next week. It's gonna be a good week.
Speaking of talking about your schedule, so you're at Bermuda and then you're in Holland?
Yeah, Hango, Holland, Netherlands.
So you're going Bermuda, then you're going Netherlands, then you're going to Geneva, Switzerland, then you're going Diamond League in Oslo, Norway, and then USA Trail. You're gonna be all over the place, man.
Yeah, I want to go against the best. I'm really looking forward to going against Tangalo, because right now it's kind of like, yeah, he has the for the PB, but right now my body is kind of geared to jump whatever I need to do to win. So no matter what you go out there jump 860, I'm gonna come behind you jump 870. Like that's kind of where I'm at in terms of my training, my body and my mindset.
There you go. So that's who you're most looking forward to jumping against? Yeah. Tintagalo?
Yes.
Does he speak English, by the way? You ever jumped against him before?
No, I haven't. Well, yes, yeah, actually, I did jump. I jumped against him at Worlds.
At Worlds, right? Yeah.
We chatted a little bit after I made that post and on Instagram early in the year. I tagged him in it. We chatted a little bit, and then because it was a post I made about the jumpers who I expect to jump over 840 this year. And then I think like 2 days later he jumped, I think 841.
Oh, yeah.
And then he jumped 841, and then I posted that and I tagged him, and then he messaged me back like, "Let's go." So I was like, "Yeah, I like it."
Fire. I love that. And he just like 1 centimeter, just got it right. It's like, let's do this.
Dude, that's awesome. All right. I'm looking at our talking point list here. I know one thing we wanted to talk about. We want to talk about NCAAs a little bit more. I'm really want to talk about triple jump. I'm super pumped about what went on at Doha.
Mm-hmm.
That was oh my gosh, man! I didn't think triple jump would pop off like that. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was expecting some big moves, but I wasn't really, and maybe this is on me, but I was a little down on Chardo. I was jumping on the Diaz Hernandez show, and
yeah,
I still think he's just like where he's at wise with his age, with his progression. I still think that he's kind of got, who knows, but man, Chardo, dude.
Yeah.
Hey.
Chardo is no joke.
He makes it look easy.
I wonder if I can share a screen and show this. No, it's not going to let me. All right, never mind. But I just want to list like Doha, right? Pedro Pichardo jumped 17.91 meters, right? This was his season best. You got Zengo, but this also was win day 1, right? So you're practically win legal, right? 2.0 is the limit. Then you had the indoor world record holder, Zengo. He jumped 17.81. Then you got Andy Diaz Hernandez jumping 17.80, which that's a tight. I mean, that's one
super close
1 millimeter away, right? So basically, it looks to me like you got the Cubans coming back, the former Cubans and Pichardo. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, Donald Scott and Christian Taylor out there representing the USA. Still early in the season. I'm a big. I'm really excited about. I think this year is going to go well for USA.
Yeah.
But man, seeing the Cubans are just on fire right now.
It's crazy because
even Cubans.
Yeah, Pichardo is Cuban too. I don't know what happened over the past like decade or whatever, but the Cubans in the triple jump just went crazy. I think both on the men's and the women's side, they just went insane.
Mm-hmm.
Who's their is Pedroso their coach?
I know
Pedroso?
Pedroso coaches. He coaches Rojas, right? I think.
Yeah, he's on the girl side. I don't know if.
I don't know who coaches.
Good question.
I know that Teddy Tamgo coaches Zango.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know who Pichardo coaches.
Pichardo is he with Saladino? Who's with Saladino? That might be a girl. Female.
Oh wait,
there's a lot of long jumpers that are coaching the triple jumpers right now. Like a lot of the 1990s to 2000 long jumpers are coaching a lot of the triple jumpers right now. I don't know. We should that'll be on the to-do list. Yeah. But the triple jump's going off. I'm excited to see what Hibbert does too as he kind of ages into stuff. We'll see if he can join the ranks there. Because he was, jumping 17 meters, well into
short approach.
Of short approach, yeah. So
it's crazy. He's definitely going to be one to. I mean, he could snag a medal. He might be like a Jamaican Christian Taylor in a sense. I mean, Christian Taylor was. I think he was like a junior.
Who are you talking about?
Hibbert.
Oh,
Hibbert.
I think he's going to get a gold or silver. I'm not gonna lie.
Word.
This man is jumping. He's jumping 17 meters from 10 steps. I think he's gonna get a gold or silver. He's playing right now.
People in the chat also are commenting like he's fresh. He's barely even jumped this year, right?
Yeah.
And the jumps he is taking.
Smart with him. They're playing it real smart.
Really smart. Arkansas. They know it's
Coach Charb is one of the best coaches in the world. All around coaches.
Oh yeah. Man.
I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah, I think they know that like special. He's special, man. He is special.
All right, triple jump's gonna be awesome. I'm pumped. I'm excited for Worlds. I'm also on the women's side really excited for triple jump because my hot take. Jasmine Moore has a opportunity for the world record, and I got a lot of feedback on that. Everybody's like, "Nah, no way." I still think it. I know. Look, I don't think right now that Rojas peaked. I don't think so. I think she's still going to continue to push. I think she's going to continue to break her world record. And I also and Anderson, I think this was your take last time. You think that she can do a double, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because Rojas jumped, I remember she was wearing like the wrong shoes or something, but she jumped like 680 or something like that. She jumped something crazy and she had like triple jump spikes or something like that. Yeah. And then so she couldn't qualify for Worlds. But I mean, she is serious triple threat or serious double threat in the triple and the long jump. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I think she could definitely do it.
And if you have Jasmine Moore also right now popping off some pretty crazy jumps, you could have two double threats in Jasmine Moore also jumping long and triple. Now, I don't know if they would do that with her.
She did last year.
Coming out of college.
She did it last year.
Well, for Worlds, although taking it all the way to Worlds.
She did it last year. She was the first.
Yeah, she made the team in both.
Jasmine Moore?
Yeah.
She should have won the Barrowman. She should have won the Barrowman.
Yep.
Guys,
She was
I don't know
at
what I'm
Worlds in
doing. I'm
both.
gonna leave. I'm gonna get out of here. I don't know what I'm doing. I should definitely pay more attention. I
Yeah,
should pay.
she's been killing it. She even made, I don't think she did the double at the Olympics, but she made the triple jump in the Olympics. And then, yeah, last year she was in both at Worlds.
And didn't win the Barrowman.
I think she's doing it again. That's what I'm going at. But I need to pay more attention. All right, so that was that's my take. That she's going after the world record.
Shout out to my training partner, KO the Comp, Couture.
Oh yeah.
She should have. Oh man, she should be a medalist. She definitely should be a medalist, man. I feel like she could be jumping. She could be jumping 15 meters. Easily, I feel like easily.
She's working on it. She just got with Dwight this year, so she's finna get right.
There you go. I mean, she is, in my opinion, she's like the reason women's triple jumping right now is even, or in the United States is even like a thing, right? Like she is the reason. Yeah. And yeah, in the chat, someone's saying shout out to Tori Franklin. Yep. I mean, yeah, Tori got that bronze, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, Tori.
Yep.
Tori.
Yeah, there's a lot in the triple jump right now. I think all of them. Okay, so some AJT saying that Tori trains with Pentaglue.
Oh yeah,
maybe she does. Okay.
Yeah, she be making some jumps. Like she's the most fearless woman I know. But she'll get up and go. Like she got up and went all the way over there mid-season last year.
That's true. I remember she was talking about she just like moved. She was like, "I'm out."
Yeah,
and it paid off. Crazy. But yeah, the US got a good 1-2 punch. Or one, I don't know, 3 punch. I don't know if all three of them could. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if all three of them could get medals, but listen,
they gonna push each other at the trials.
Yeah. That should be crazy. What else we got? We got some of the triple jump. I know in the high jump, was it from LSU? Is it LSU? Lamar Diston.
Oh, Lamar.
Text saying
that.
My bad. My bad.
You go, Maggies. Stop, she's horns up. Yeah, I got you.
I was there 3 years and still don't know that song.
Oh, you got to. Saul Varsi's horns off. Oh man. Yeah, triple jump. Look, I'm excited for men's because Harrison, man, he's already put out 2.33, right?
He locked in this year.
I think and just seeing like last year, the street meet between him and the Italian. I should have written this down. The Italian who split the gold medal. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The Italian who shaved half his face. He split the gold medal at the Olympics. Anyways.
Oh, yeah, I know he's talking about.
I can't think of his name. I don't know why I'm blanking out on this. I've said it like 1,000 times. But
yeah,
look, the competition last year where they were at a street meet out in some European town, and then literally like you could see the whole time like the amount of focus, but then also every single time they jumped, the other person like would jump up and like cheer him on, and like seeing Harrison get so enthusiastic like that, because I kind of remember in college he would be kind of a little more like kind of reserved and he wouldn't be quite as enthusiastic, and like seeing him come out of his shell and like every time I'm gonna look up his name. I need to say his name, but every time they go out there, Tamberi. Oh my god!
Yeah. Shout out to AJT in the chat. He got it for us.
Oh, thank you, thank you. AJT, you're gonna have to be on here. You're helping us out a lot. We're struggling here. But yeah, high jump. I'm excited for it. Pole vault. Our hot take before, right, was Katie Moon and Sandy Morris, and it looks like it's still the Katie Moon and Sandy Morris show. has not a lot's changed. You know, they're both my age and still out there doing it.
They're jumping.
On the men's side, though, not much has changed from our last take. 1 centimeter at a time, get $100,000. Another centimeter,
Mondo.
another centimeter, get $100,000. Just take your time.
If I was Mondo, I'd keep doing it. I would gladly keep. If I could increase it by a millimeter, get me on a world record every time. Of course, like he's smart. He is smart.
It's brilliant. And it's so much. And it's like that and high jump are the only two you could really do that with, right? Everything else, you don't have that much control. Like you can like a long jump.
I'm curious. So y'all think that, so in the long jump, I've spoken to people who are like, okay, we should change it where there's no board in the long jump. It's just like you jump forever from wherever and they just measure it. Right. You think they should do that?
I think that would make it less unique. I think what they should do is like despite a foul or behind the board, I still think they should measure from takeoff point just to show the crowd like this could have been this, you know. So and that'll probably make it more exciting to watch.
I brought that up. I was in a coaching seminar, a USATF coaching seminar, and I brought that up to the panelists, and I was like, look, we have the technology, we've got LiDAR, we've got all like these super high def camera resolutions. As soon as you take off, you know, Diamond League, all of a sudden when they show you that with foot placement, they show you how far off you are on a little overlay, right? So we know the distances, we know how far it would be. And so I was like, well, why don't we move on to kind of the next evolution of long jump, right? They changed the javelin, the weight of the javelin or the placement of the javelin, because they started out throwing the distance of, the pit or the field. So what do? They had to change it so you don't throw it quite as far. And so the whole world records are always going to shift, but they made a change. So I was like, why don't we just do this? We have the technology. But the argument was made that it's a added skill component. So being able to adjust to the board to make sure that you jump off from the takeoff board is a skill, right? It's like part of something that would be a major component. If you take that away, you're getting the best athlete, but you're taking away, I guess, an additional skill component.
Yeah.
More challenging. So that's USATF's argument on that. And I agree to something. I also want to see the best athlete out there. You know, Irvin Saladino's 9-meter foul, Ivan Pedroso's 9-meter foul. Going back to the Greek athlete from 2007's 9-meter foul. I'd love to see it, but you know, you win some, you lose some. All right.
Well, real quick, one other thought, and it's AJT actually brought up in the chat. What about that laser that they're now using at a bunch of meets, as opposed to someone using like the plasticine, right? That laser has been causing the laser. It's been causing a lot of fouls that probably shouldn't be fouls.
Yeah, I didn't. I think my first time jumping with it was in Birmingham. Yeah, Birmingham with my first and only loss of the season. I tried to stay away from it because I was actually practicing with it, and it'll show you when you're doing your reps. Like the day before comp, we was doing it, and I was like, oh, I'm not trying to get close to it. So yeah, I don't really like that. I understand, like it's like we have a lot of technology. I understand y'all want to try something new, but some things you don't need to try.
We already got the plasticine. You know, I see if your spike touches it. I haven't jumped with it. I have no comment, no feedback on this. So this is my take. All right, and then coming back to long jump. current world leaders, Jessamine Aldrin and then Tara Davis right now are the two at the top. But I want to comment on India's jumpers right now. Okay.
Mhm.
So India is, I'm not saying they're coming out of nowhere, but I think with the emergence of the javelin thrower,
Mhm.
if you're from India, you can correct me, please do. But I remember from the emergence of him, right, and all of a sudden, like the whole country, like rallying behind him at the Olympics, like it was such a really cool thing. And all of a sudden, like long jump, triple jump, like it's just India has been like rising and rising and rising. And right now, if I look at the if I like pull up the leaderboards right now, you've got, now they don't have, I don't think they have indoor over in India, right? So their outdoor season is longer. I don't necessarily know how their periodization works because it's a little bit different timing wise. But like if you pull up long jump or triple jump right now, you've got an Indian athlete in top 10 in pretty much all the categories, right? Which is it's a big change from the past where you didn't really see that. So I'm really interested in what's going on over in India and this surgence of Indian jumpers. It's really cool to see, and I love it. I love it. But Jessamine Aldrin jumped 8.42 way early, right?
Mhm.
Way early.
Yeah.
Whenever I was in indoor season.
I think it's what you said. I think it's what you said with Chopra, right? Like you need an athlete who's going to inspire so many other athletes to the next thing. It's kind of what we were saying before with like Katora, right? Once Katora came on, then so many triple jumpers really started like, stepping things up. With Chopra and that javelin throw, it was like, okay, we can actually be, world class athletes. Let's really start, putting in the work, and that just kind of led to this surge right now.
Sometimes that's all it takes. I think it's kind of the same thing with what Fred in the 100 is doing. That's all it takes. Then now, like the same thing with the USA long jump that's about to be on the rise. Like I told Dindy and Stephen at World Champs, it's like we're gonna have to do something different this year. Either I'm gonna be the one to push that envelope, or somebody gonna have to step up to the plate. But nobody do it. I'm gonna do it this year.
Competition breeds competition. You think about the 1990s, right?
Yeah.
You've had so many athletes competing at levels that we haven't really seen in years. Now, your coach was one of them who was at that level, actually, 2000. But you really haven't seen a lot of those levels in many years. But all of a sudden, I don't know if it's the COVID hangover, athletes got an extra year to recover and didn't get to rush through. You had a lot longer collegiate season. But like all of a sudden you get this influx. And like, I think in NCAA wise, the last couple of years, you had an athlete open up the season with an 8-meter jump, over an 8-meter jump, right? You had Matthew Bowling, 2 years ago, Jeremiah Davis this year, opening up indoor with an over 8-meter jump. So it set the stage already high. And I think that's really good, opening up at a lower level, because then athletes like yourself who are at that next level, they see the younger guys already jumping over 8 meters and they're like, all right, well, if they're doing that, then we're going to be doing this. And then y'all start jumping these even bigger, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you saw, that competition always between the 90s and the 2000 jumpers. So they're always putting out 28 like it's candy.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this year, some 28s.
Yeah. Nah, you're gonna see a few. You're gonna see a few.
I'm pumped, man.
I might jump one next week, depending on how I feel.
Said next week.
That's what I'm ready for. I'm ready to tell in the comments. Like, I wonder when we'll see an 870 next week.
Yeah, and it just reminded me of like what's his name, Echevarria he was from Cuba too, right? Like he came and went. He jumped he had one crazy season or 1 or 2 seasons, and now I haven't even heard of him.
I think he's been having some issues I think he has some
Mm.
issue with his federation.
Oh,
I'm
that's a
not
good point.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
That's true.
The
That's true.
19. So something I show all my athletes, and this is something that I always recommend. Whenever we start the season, we get a tape measure and we roll it out in the long sandpit, and we look at for every age group what the world record is for that age group for the boys and girls, and so that they can see like, look, I'm 13 years old, that's achievable, or 12 years old, that's achievable, right? Or they see this and they're like, look, I'm almost there, and it's an exponential curve, but that goes up and then levels out. But they see this at a young age and they're like, I can do this. Like Mansell, right? Mansell's got the world record for his age group from, I think he's got 15, 16, and 17, or 16, 17, and 18. Like he's got 3 years of him holding the world record for his age group. And you think about like what he's still doing now, Mansell's still putting out these big jumps. Although you saw that he switched from a hitch to a double. Did you see that, Will?
Who was the name?
Mansell?
Nassau.
Mansell. I saying that wrong?
I was trying to figure out who he was talking about this whole time.
Cuba.
I heard the name. But I don't know.
From where?
I think Cuba.
Cuba.
Man, is this? Am I having my second brain fart of the day?
Who got this the Gumby hairstyle? Him? Oh, you talking about Michael Meso? That guy.
Meso.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Okay, yeah, my God, yeah.
Guys, names are hard. Words are hard. Words are hard. But yeah, dude, he switched from a single hitch kick to the double hitch kick, which is interesting. Seeing someone kind of like so late in their kind of like development switching. So it is interesting. I saw also as soon as that happened, Tobias Monfler went out tried to double hitch kick in practice. He posted on social media. It's like, oh boy, now everybody's switching.
I started the double 2 years ago, a year and a half ago.
You started 2 years ago?
Yeah, I was throughout college. I did a hitch hang.
I was a hitch kick by the time I was 20 years old, or double hitch kick by I was 20, and then I stopped jumping for 7 years. So then I was nothing. But and now I'm back. All right, we got triple jump.
We were triple jump, long jump. We hit a couple things. I think we hit a lot, right?
Yeah, we're already an hour and some change into this too.
Yeah. I mean, we hit a lot of good topics. I think we good. I mean, we could start to close out. I mean, Will, you got, like you said, you got a couple. You're going to Bermuda next. You got a whole European tour. Like, I mean, I don't know. You still keeping it a secret in terms of like what's about to happen this year, or I don't know. You got any predictions of what you think is about to hit?
I would say there's really no ceiling to what I feel I can jump this year. Like I texted the White just week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Like I feel like I can go an extra 2 feet by the time I get to Worlds. I think I'm gonna sell well over 850 by the end of the season. Yeah, I just feel like by the time USA trials and Worlds come, people just gonna have to settle for second. That's just what it's going to be for me.
I love the confidence, man. I love the confidence. Believe in yourself, and everybody else can just get out of here.
Yeah,
I love it, dude. And that's what it takes sometimes. Is you really have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, then it's hard to kind of continue to push yourself. But if you believe that you're the best, then it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? It's visualization, and you're literally showing everybody, look, you literally believe in yourself. You believe you're the best. You will be the best. There's nothing to stop you. The only thing that can stop you is yourself, right? So just continue to believe in yourself and get the 850. Come on. I'm pumped.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
Chat. I really appreciate chat. AJT, you're crushing it. Thank you.
Got any questions? They got any questions out there? All right.
Well, he was asking. I mean, I don't know if you want to say. He said, "Who do you think is making the USA team besides you?"
Ooh,
in the long jump.
you ready
I
for
don't know
this
if I'm
hot
gonna.
take?
Well, I
'Cause
think
you about to putting it out there. You gotta.
I'm gonna say Dindy and Jarian.
Ooh, that's what I was thinking too.
I'm gonna say Dindy. I'm gonna say Dindy and a healthy a healthy Jarian is scary. I'm gonna say, and then alternate is gonna be between Stephen and Jeremiah. Stephen and Jeremiah.
Ooh,
Stephen is very sneaky.
Stephanie's
in terms-
always
like,
there. We talked about that last
yeah.
time.
Yeah, he has one of the best coaches in the world as well, and Coach Flo know how to get things done at the right time. Then Jeremiah, he's just on a hot streak right now. Yeah. So if he can maintain, he can possibly show up too.
I agree with that, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
I'm excited. Hot take. You think Dindy's rocking the hat or no hat? Is he gonna? What's his next hat choice?
You talking to me or somebody else?
You. Well, he's always
Oh.
rocking the bucket
Oh,
hat.
that's his thing. He done got him a sponsor off, and now that's his thing.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. Every time I see anything, I like see someone in the background. Let's see.
Oh, and
Oh,
shout out to my suit designer, Kevin, Snack Apparel. If y'all want y'all suit made, hit him up on Instagram. It's Snack SNEK Apparel APPARREL. Dang, I made it spell that wrong, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah.
we'll put that in the chat so y'all can see that. We'll add it on to the description for afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been getting a lot of questions about my uniform design as well. I come up with the design, then my guy Kevin, he brings to life, and he does a very, very exceptional job at bringing to life. Like how I draw them out, and then when he sends them to me, I'll be amazed every time. So it's like each time I put them on, I feel like I'm putting on my superhero suit.
Do you think the confidence of wearing your own stuff really like takes it like look good, feel good, perform good?
Yes, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I was in Miramar, I didn't want to jump in Miramar. I did not want to jump in Miramar. I went over to Mount Sac, so I got to Miramar. I was like, yeah, whatever. Then it's like I pulled out my new uniform and I put it on. I was like, let's go. It just felt like such a power up. So yeah, I was ready to go.
You just went Super Saiyan, ready to go.
Yeah.
Legit Super Saiyan. That's what I when I saw you, I think at the indoors at the Dr. Sander, like that was what everyone was talking about. Everyone was like, yo, like uniform was on point. Like, who is this dude? That was fire.
Yeah, that's the idea,
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. Well, I think that's about it. Anderson, thank you so much for hosting.
Of course. AJT in the chat, he said he's going to sleep, but he said good luck for the season, Will.
Appreciate it.
Nice. All right. Well, thank y'all for tuning in. We're here on the Discord, so we'll put the link in for the Discord. Y'all can hop on. If you're following this, hopefully you've already liked and subscribed the Final Leg YouTube channel. Make sure you do if you haven't yet.
Yep. And of course, Jumpers Junction, man. You gotta subscribe to Jumpers Junction, the Final Leg. Follow Will. Yep.
Absolutely. We'll do another one of these soon.
Yeah, we'll be back up soon. But appreciate it, y'all.
All right, stay tuned.
All right, guys. See y'all later.
All right. Yeah, we just hang up.
Oh.
Well.
Yeah. All right.